well enough.
That's the
how are you doing?
After party.
How are you doing on that cough medicine, Jade?
That cough medicine.
All right. Anyways, in session 4, Declan spends the early morning hours escorting Kode the slaver out of the city, as he does not trust the Six Eyes not to kill him. Probably wise. After learning that the preacher is the one who took his sister, Declan seems worried that the people close to him will become targets. So he finds the small street urchin Tira and takes her under his protection, not content to let her roam the streets unprotected any longer. The others do a bit of shopping with the gold that they were paid by the Six Eyes, and after which they meet up with Declan at his apartment. Abrashmina and Declan catch the others up about what they learned about the preacher from Kode, and Declan asks Mina about getting Tira fostered at a temple in order to ensure her protection. And she recommends the Temple of Istis, the goddess of fate. And closer to the evening, we take Tira to the Temple of the Goddess of Fate, and Declan makes arrangements with the sisters to foster her until the danger has passed, telling them that he plans on adopting the small girl when the time is right and his work is done. After which we head to the abandoned bell tower that Maya and Thal told us that we should visit, and within we find the spirit of a veiled woman, an ancient specter of this temple and its long-forgotten religion. She says that her temple has suffered 50 desecrations that have prevented her from passing on. The most recent of which was the last relic in her temple, a scepter that was stolen by Garat, a priest of the trickster goddess Shaletha. For returning the wooden coin, she offers us an answer to a single question, and Declan asks for the location of the preacher, and we are told that he is in the desert, in a place of statues, venom, and life, and we promise to retrieve her scepter. We make plans to go after this scepter. Garat is recently come into a bit of fame and wealth thanks to a newfound ability to heal people, of which we suspect that perhaps the scepter is the source of this. So we decide to invoke a bit of subterfuge, and so Declan infects Bryn with a pox to help us get inside to see Garat and have him use the scepter on her so that we can then steal it. We leave his apartment, and the three of us leave Declan's apartment while he stays and return to the butcher shop. Abrashmina meets another Asamar from Westland named Dune, and they speak for a bit before Aman the Mockingbird comes down to tell Bryn and Makud about an Aarakocra that has been asking about us by name, who's last seen heading south towards the palace. The next day, we wait for nightfall. We decide to conduct some investigations over the events of the Vakar, and though it seems as though it was not a cult of assassins, as we previously thought, but rather regular people that seem to have been overcome by some sort of force that caused them to go mad. Unfortunately, no one seems to recall what has happened to them, and anyone who might have encountered them while under this madness were murdered, so we can't find any actual victims. No one has conducted an investigation of the Vakar and the Sandworm tunnels, so after a brief interlude with Shal Abjani, Abrashmina and Makud gain permission and the keys for the Vakar so that we can clear the arena to be opened again. And that is where we left off.
Thank you very much. See, if you don't have initiative, take it.
I always have initiative.
Inspiration.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm. I knew it.
It's been a long week.
I just wanted to initiative for it.
Very well. So, you and Makud are heading towards the Vakar. Is that correct?
No, I don't believe you're planning on doing that right away.
Okay.
I don't think we would do that without the others.
They're busy doing.
Were we doing that first, or were we? Bryn is sick, so I feel like we.
Yeah.
We should do the other thing first.
We wouldn't investigate the Vakar without them, and we wouldn't do it while Bryn is sick. So.
Sure.
Right. So you guys can meet up then, back in town, in the central town. And you can head to Gurat's if that's the plan.
Yes. So when we all meet up, I'd like to sort of take a look at Brynhild and just see how she looks.
Okay, make me a medicine check.
Oh, that's not great. 14.
She's looking about as you'd expect. Signs of illness starting to show.
Okay. The obvious signs are there.
Yeah, there's some symptoms, but nothing too severe.
Okay. How do you feel, Bryn?
I felt better. It's really bright out here.
It is a tad bright. Never you worry, though. We'll have you all sorted out. You think you're up to the task of a little performance?
I mean, part of the whole infection was there wasn't going to be a lot needed for the performance.
Well, you know, you can put it on a little bit, though, you know. This is just to help you sell it. We need you to be really distractingly sick.
All right.
Perfect. Perfect. Keep that up.
You gave me something pretty interesting, right? Nothing too mundane. He's
Oh,
got to
no.
be interested in checking this out.
This is completely exotic. I picked up this particular sample just south of Dethoyne in one of the lower wards. It was running rampant among the poor population there. It would not have been seen at all anywhere near a show. But lucky for you, once it passes, you'll be quite immune.
Are the stomach cramps normal?
Yes, quite normal. I
Okay.
hope you brought a change of undergarments.
Perfect. Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
I think it would be best if I am to be going in the back entrance to find the scepter, it might be best if we attempt to infiltrate at night.
What is with you in the cover of darkness?
It's just when I do my best work. It also adds to my mystique.
Mystique, sure.
Any objections?
What time is it now?
Late afternoon.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I can hold on for a little bit longer.
Yeah, you'll be fine. If there's anything else we'd like to accomplish in that time, I'm certainly open to that.
Well, Makud and I have promised Shalab Jani that we would investigate the Vakar, but I do not think that that is wise at this point. But perhaps we could not always go back to the Six Eyes and ask Maya about the coin in the temple, find out how she knew about it.
Sure. Well, I would be happy, Bryn, if you'd like, to sit with you until evening, so you don't overexert yourself. And
No, please, just you can go and investigate. I'll try not to infect anyone. I think I can walk.
if you prefer, if you chose, we could sit and I could make you a nice hot drink or something.
It's fine.
I do
push
know,
through,
make a
right?
wonderful rum cocktail, warm rum cocktail that's great for opening up the chest and the throat.
No, I'm good right now.
It's good.
Who just
Well-
sidesteps away. Patient zero.
Yeah, I mean, very well could be lethal to the untested Ajari population.
It's fine.
Either way, Bryn, you're considered poisoned until the effects wear off.
Fair enough.
If she was performing a check to act as if she was ill, because she is, does she gain it still? have
Then
advantage?
she will have advantage.
Good. In a very specific case.
Yes, that is You are considered poisoned for all checks except checks which require deception for being diseased.
Fair enough.
All right. So is the plan to go and investigate the Vicar while Bryn goes to
Nope.
chill? Yeah. Oh, okay. So what's the plan then?
I think Mina wants to go to talk to Maya about where the coin came from and what she knows about the temple, because she doesn't want to go to the Vicar with the sick.
Very well.
That is my suggestion, at least.
Oh, that's fine. Lead the way, Mina.
She also has, Bryn has our room so she can, not infect people.
What are you trying to say?
I think she's saying you're quite infectious. You are, in fact, quite infectious.
It's fine.
You have things dribbling from your nose that I have not seen.
Makood's eyes are wide and he's further away.
I am not sure if that is congestion or could be spinal fluid.
I promise you it's not spinal fluid.
Is it pink?
I mean, it's leaking out of her nose. It's not. It's mucus.
If it is pink, it is spinal fluid.
Leaking from her nose?
It has happened before.
From me?
Oh God. All right.
Let's move along. Let's get her off the street.
If only to put this conversation to bed. You all, I assume, are heading to the Six Eyes together then. You go down the stairs and find it to be relatively empty. You see Dune is still in the corner, sleeping with his head on the desk. And you see Maya and Thal are sort of in like a booth. Maya is sitting like on one of the sort of comfy bench seats, and Thal is like curled up with his head on her shoulder, fast asleep as well. And she's sort of like absently just stroking his hair. Behind the bar, you see Uvir is still there, but it looks like none of the actual Six Eyes themselves are in at the moment, and it's fairly quiet. There's a guy strumming idly on a lute, but not really playing a tune, just kind of noodling.
I would like to go speak to my Endal. I don't. If the others want to come with, they can.
Okay. So, who's all going over to Mayanthal and who's just chilling?
I'll come along, but stay quiet.
Cool.
Which way is Bryn going?
Probably to find like some place to sit, like by herself.
Yeah. Well, there's rooms as well if you want them.
She does have her own room.
Yeah.
Here, you could just go crash in your bed.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So, like a zombie, Bryn stumbles up the stairs along the balcony and just falls into her room.
Then Makood is free to go where he wishes.
Yes. What's Mackie D doing?
He might start with the booth with other people, but he might wander away quite quickly.
Okay. So Maya sort of raises her hand and smiles at you as you approach. Hey, look.
Greetings. We went to your bell tower.
Oh, you did you? She kind of grins. You see her pointed teeth. How did you find it?
It was a very interesting spirit there.
So I've heard.
Where did you find the coin?
I'll be honest, I won it. Well, I was playing cards with Sharad and a few others, and just yeah.
25.
She's being honest so far, and one of them bet the coin. It was just a casual game, so we didn't really mind letting him bet a wooden coin. But when he told us all about it, piqued our interest. Thought we'd hold on to it. And
Who did you win it from?
oh, I don't know his name.
Do I need to roll insight for that again, or
Yeah, yeah. If you want.
17.
Yeah, still being truthful.
Okay.
She's obviously not trying to hide anything. Yeah.
This is like
So
my
she
one
just-
thing. Just let me roll the dice.
Yeah, but we were just up at Shrieking Eel, gambling as you do up there, and I won it.
Did you what? It was a dice or a card game that McCood played.
Dice.
It was a dice game. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you play the dice game?
I have played that game a lot, but no, this was the card game.
Okay. I have played the dice game. It is good game.
It's a good game.
Little man is good to
Mm,
play with.
sweaty fellow.
He kind of shrugs like it washes over him a little bit. I shall ask for a card game next time.
You do that. She like shrugs. Anything else I can help you with?
Well, if you come across any more of those coins, I'd be greatly interested in them. There is a spirit there that I believe requires them in order to pass on. I would like to see it done.
She sort of raised her eyebrows slightly, like giving you a sort of mildly interested nod. I'll be sure to let you know.
It was an interesting trip. You did not know of the spirit? You just knew of
I
the...
just had the coin, and well, what I was told, I told you.
You seemed like very resourceful.
Thank you.
I was wondering if I could perhaps ask a favor of you.
She sort of like leans back in the chair slightly on the bench. Oh yeah?
You are free to pass if you'd like. But I'm from the temple of He Who Watches. Have you been?
I can't say I have. Temple's sort of, I don't know, they rub me up the wrong way.
Abrashmina nods in understanding. When you look like the Shaletha, I suppose that is unavoidable, yes?
She nods.
Well, you seem... If I was not planning on leaving, but I find myself unable to return, don't suppose that you could gather some of my things?
Her face sort of breaks into a big grin, which says, well, I have always wanted to rob a temple.
Well, it's not so much robbing if you're just retrieving the things that belong to me.
Sure.
I wouldn't want you to, is a favor for me, not so much giving you permission to raid the coffers, so to speak.
I understand. And, well, yeah. Okay. Consider it done. But you'll owe me a favor at some point.
That is agreeable. Now, Abrashmina holds out her hand for her to shake.
She reaches across. Dal's still sleeping and shakes it. Excellent. Well then, unless there's anything else, I'd
No,
like to go back to my drink.
I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. She grins and like drains her glass.
And I'll get up and wander away and give them their privacy.
What's
I think
Makua doing
Makuba's
there?
already gone. Already at the bar or something.
Perfect. So, what would you guys like to do next? Just hang around until nightfall, or is there anything else you'd like to achieve before?
Declan might take a moment and go look at the estate of this guy and just get a cursory glance, like just do some reconnaissance.
Okay.
I'm so glad you said that because it was like running through my mind, but
Mhm.
Makuba isn't going to suggest that.
Yeah. So you can wander up, and so you sort of head by the palace and then down like a road nearby, which is sort of where all the wealthy live. And you see it's this beautiful kind of expansive estate, very, very tall, and surrounded by gardens. There's lots of kind of religious iconography of Shaletha and the trickery goddess and all that sort of thing. But it all looks a little bit too much. You know, like there's like a huge stone statue of her, and there's like these like topiary cats and all that sort of thing. It looks like, he's sort of, whoever owns this place is sort of lost
Sort
the
of putting it
point
on.
a little bit. Yeah. You can see there's lots of windows. It's probably very bright in the house, and like a good deal of the building is actually.
How many stories is the house?
The house is 4 stories.
Okay, it's a big house.
Yeah, very tall, especially for a Shah. Houses in a Shah are generally not as tall as this. You can see there's a front door and a back door, and like lots of these, sort of high windows.
Any guards patrolling the area?
No guards, but on the property. But this is a very well guarded area of town. There's like 2 guards at either end of each street, and sort of a few that just kind of walk up and down.
So no guards on the estate, but the streets are patrolled?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a wall around the estate?
There is.
Okay,
But it's not terribly high.
Okay.
It's maybe 6 feet high.
Okay, that's no problem. So Declan will spend the remaining hour or 2 before sundown observing the patrols of the guards and seeing sort of what their rhythms are, sort of getting to know some of the faces in the area, things like that.
Yeah, okay. So from your in fact, make me a quick perception check.
You betcha. 19.
Okay. So from what you can see, 2 guards at either end of the street. They change once every 4 hours or so. And they tend not to look that. It's like very obvious that they've got the easy shift. They sort of just like lean against a wall or just kind of relax. They've all got like spears and shields, and kind of just stand in the shade, like drinking water constantly. There's sort of a pair of guards who kind of like patrol maybe like 10 or so streets, and they just walk up and down them. And they've got these slightly different helmets to the other guards, which are clearly designed for them to be in the sun more. So they got these wide, like kind of white tops to the helmets that are almost like like that. I don't know what the proper term for it is, but that like Chinese hat.
Yeah, like a wide brimmed, bright hat that reflects the sunlight.
Yeah, exactly. So it keeps their faces in shade, keeps their heads cool. And so that's clearly like their post is sort of the walk around. And this is the same helmet that you see most guards wearing. It's only the ones who get to stand in shade for the most time who get to wear the sort of lighter helmets, which actually most of the time they're not wearing. They're on like a little desk next to them. And their weapons aren't in their hands. They're just kind of leaning up against the sort of guard stand that they're in.
Okay.
So it's lax, and everyone looks relaxed, but there's like a fairly heavy presence. You know, at some points there's like 6 guards on one street, but others it's just 4.
Okay.
But they didn't look particularly high alert.
Okay, that's good news. At the anointed hour, I will return and gather the party.
All right.
I've already bothered Maya and Thal, but is there the dwarf, is he about?
Marduk.
Or Aman?
Aman is not about, and Marduk. Roll me a d20.
Okay. Am I adding anything?
No, just
9.
okay. Marduk's not there.
Damn. Okay. I was kind of like looking for someone that she recognized besides Uvir, because she wanted to ask about this Garrot fellow, but I suppose she could bother Maya again, but I've already walked away from her. It seems like, oh, by the way. No, but maybe she should, because maybe she knows something about the Shaleth temple. Is it Shaleth? Shaleth.
Shaletha.
Yeah. Well, that's
No, yeah,
what they
Shaleth is
call
the
her.
god. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, after Maya finishes her drink, I think Abrashmina will go back over and apologies for bothering you again. I had some more questions that I had forgotten that I had wanted to ask.
Sure.
Do you know of a Garot? He is a priest of the Shaleth temple.
I generally try and steer clear of that place, but from what I've heard, he lives in some big mansion down
And
south.
so was wondering if you had heard anything about his mansion. From what I recalled, he recently purchased it.
Yeah, fairly recently, I think. All that faith healing shit. I think that's sort of done well with him, got him in favor with the right people.
Do you happen to know who owned the estate before him?
I have no idea.
We were thinking about, well, not thinking, we were going to be infiltrating it tonight. I believed. I was hoping you might have something that might be useful, or advice, perhaps.
Advice? Don't get caught. She shrugs. And as she shrugs, like Thal kind of blinks and lets out like a little moan and sort of begins to wake.
Well, we think perhaps he stole something from that bell tower temple.
Quite possible. Shaleth is supposed to be all about trickery and thievery and that sort of shit, so I think it's logical.
Perhaps it was me just assuming that you might know, considering your resemblance to their.
Yeah,
Sorry. You probably hear that a lot.
I do.
Does it bother you?
It's a bit annoying sometimes, but I've been called worse. She grins.
You are not from here, yes? From Ashar?
No, I'm not.
I suppose it must be strange to be a foreigner in this land and have people say that you are in the image of one of their gods.
That is a bit strange. She sort of laughs. But, and pretty amazing.
Yes, well, it is, I suppose, different for someone who has dealt with such things their entire life. She kind of shrugs awkwardly.
Yeah. Maya just nods.
I am sorry to bother you. I will speak to you later.
No worries. She kind of gives you a nod and then like gives Thal a kiss and starts like talking to him as he wakes up.
Right. That's me.
Nice. And so, unless anyone has anything else, you can wait until night begins to fall and start making your way over.
Yeah, so Declan, when he returns, will sort of give everyone the layout. Does anyone have any ideas of what they might like to do? I think the best approach would be for Abrishmina and Brynhild to go to the front door. Makud, I'm not sure what role you would best play, if I'm being perfectly honest. For all your charms, you are unsettling to those who don't know you. It might perhaps put the man ill at ease if you were present, at least.
I was
Perhaps
going
you
to
could-
say that he would make a believable bodyguard for myself.
Possibly.
Or for me, if I'm playing, wealthy foreigner looking
Do you
for
think
more.
you... That certainly makes sense. Makud, do you think you would be recognized as for your celebrity?
He kind of like he's drinking something, not heavily drinking, but he kind of like turns to you and kind of goes, "A lot of people know my name. A lot of people are in those audiences. They come to see Ama Utu."
That's understandable. You're quite a spectacle. What do you think would be your best contribution to this endeavor?
Before you mentioned those of us who are a spectacle would make a distraction.
You would make for quite the distraction.
It's either that or I wait around. But that might be equally strange.
I suppose so.
Perhaps
Well-
if he is recognized, that could add credence to the story. I was able to afford his services.
Perhaps.
Makud is free now. I would need
Considerable payment.
Yes. And it's like a long grin.
How about a bottle of whatever your favorite drink is? If you don't let me get stabbed to death.
Deal. I will get you out alive. So I cannot do anything about your... And he kind of like just generally kind of like points to your face and like neck, just like that. I don't know what is going on there, but
It's just the size of one of his fingers. There's a hole in it.
I can make sure you are not stabbed.
I would appreciate that very much.
A quick question. I think this is a good plan. But do either of our magic users have a mode of magical communication of any kind?
I do not know.
You can shout really loud.
Less magical than I was looking for, but perhaps a good plan B. Bryn, do you have any sort of magical communication you can use?
I have limited communication.
And what's your range on that?
Not far from me, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I'll sort of like pull out a scroll of paper and I'll do a sketch of the estate and give like dimensions and all that. This is the front entrance where you'll be making your entry. Coming up to the front door, I will be going over the fence and towards the back. I'll first try one of the windows on the first floor. If that fails, I'll scale to the top floor and try to enter there. Go ahead.
I was going to say, as Declan is like drawing and like laying things out, Abrashmina is going to pull out the deck of tarot cards from her pouch, and she's going to start ritually casting, preparing an augury for as Declan is speaking about each of his proposed entrances.
Okay.
Like going up through the back or going up through a window.
My thought is that if he does not have the scepter on him, it would likely be where he would keep his prized possessions. Most people keep it under the bed, in the dresser, in the closet, someplace near where they sleep. However, it is a large place, so on the likely chance that I don't find it right away, I will stay in the house until I find it somewhere. Even if you are forced to leave, if you, after a certain amount of time, Brynhild, maybe 10 minutes, if you can send a message to me, I will be within 25 feet of you at that time marker. And you can tell me whether or not you believe he has the scepter on his person. If not, then I will continue and stay in the house to look for it.
All right. I just want to say to the friends that will be with me, excuse me, as I'm trying to gain access here, I may say things or call you things that I know you are not. I don't want to upset you. It's part of an act. You understand this, yes?
Abrashmina kind of frowns but nods.
Makud is Makud. I'm going as Makud, yes?
You're going as Mukud. But
Then I will be Makud.
unfortunately, in my experience, wealthy people can be kind of assholes. They can be cruel to those that they think are beneath them. I don't want that to tarnish anything or you to think that's really me. It's just part of the act, right? I'm playing a character, not myself.
You were putting on a show.
I'm putting on a show.
He kind of slowly nods.
I want him to buy that I am a wealthy asshole. So I have to pretend to be a wealthy asshole.
At this, like, Mina's face clears and she nods. It's like, yes. But as she's like finishing up her her tarot thing, she's thinking about specifically Declan's chances of finding the scepter in the house away from them.
Okay,
And she's expecting two cards. One is the Seven of Pentacles and one is the Seven of Swords. And one is good and one is bad. And so
so the chance of finding it in the house.
Yeah, away from him. Like he's like talking about sneaking away and like searching the house. Whereas like, we're expecting or hoping that he'll have it on him.
So augury only tells you if it's going to go well or not, right?
Yes. So a good result would be the swords, and the bad result would be the Seven of Pentacles.
All right. You phrase that in a very irritating way.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I mean, if that's what she's expecting, or like
Yeah.
those cards, if she doesn't get that, then it's.
So for the question of not finding it on him,
Or for finding it away, like Declan's chances of finding it away from this person.
Okay, I see. You're kind of
Yeah.
getting me a bit at this point. Whoa.
Well,
Or the pentacles. Tentacles.
So yeah, the card like flips over and like it's a card of a man standing around like a bush with like the pentacles, and he's like looking at like wilted crops or whatever, and she'll just kind of like look at Declan and kind of shake her head and is just like, I think perhaps our best chances will be at the front of house, but it may be an unnecessary risk you take.
I'm sorry, I don't think I understand. You're telling me that the cards say that the scepter is in the front of the house.
I am saying that the cards do not seem as though you will find success.
Well, if the cards say.
You are free to interpret them as you wish.
Well, we might argue with the wisdom of the gods. Is that the best that the cards can tell us? Can they tell us more specifically where it might be?
The more that I try these things, the less accurate the results may be. The more we might be seeing what we wish to see, rather than true signs.
All right. Well, not one for unnecessary risk.
Perhaps it might be best if you stay with us, and while Brynhild and our tall Alma to have the man distracted. Perhaps. She kind of like gestures because she doesn't know how thieves thieve. But
You want me to pick his pocket?
perhaps.
Well, I can give it a shot. Yes, well, let's try it that way then.
I think out of all of us, you would have the best chances of getting it off of him if it is on his person. Yes?
I mean, it's
No
a
arguments there.
scepter. It's not going to be in his pocket.
It would be probably either hanging on his belt or hidden away.
I mean, you'll know what a scepter is, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to be in a pocket.
He's probably
You know
gonna
what?
have it.
It's her point is still valid. I feel.
I mean,
Out of all of us who can Indiana Jones a heavy object off of somebody, it's not going to be
Well,
the person who's poisoned.
I'm not going to try to take a scepter off his belt. It's not the kind of thing someone doesn't notice. But if we can positively identify it, then perhaps I can sneak back in later that evening, take it while he's asleep.
Then what? I mean, we know he has it, right? Why are we like just not taking advantage of the fact that maybe we'll have him, like, I don't know, in a room alone, caring for a sick patient?
yeah.
Do you want to beat him up?
I mean, that
Yeah,
was
just-
kind of.
Sorry, just for clarification, Abrishmina, you probably know, like, this thing is like the papal ferula. Like, it's like 6.5 feet tall.
Oh, that's like way more than a scepter.
Well, it's not.
It's a staff.
That's a staff.
Well, the papal ferula is a scepter, and it is like 6'2". In
Either
fact,
way.
no, it's more than that because it's the Pope with his hat on, and it's still taller.
It's very large.
Yes.
The issue, unfortunately, Brynhild, is if we accost the man, two of our friends here are quite well known. We don't want to cause more trouble for ourselves in the city. Unless we kill the man, which I am unwilling to do, he will, of course, report whoever he believes to be the thief to the constabulary. However, if we can take it without him knowing who took it, that would be ideal.
That is the fact that he stole this artifact from a temple. He may not report it if we take it from him, but we do not want our faces to be known in that instance because he is a priest of the goddess of trickery. There will be revenge.
Precisely.
I mean, it's just maybe the fever talking, but I'm having a really hard time remembering exactly why we agreed to this.
Ghost wanted it. And we wanted answers from the ghost.
Well, we're in it now. You're already infected. Might as well make good use of it. Wouldn't it feel a bit silly if we didn't go through with it now?
I mean, obviously. So,
I have the magics to restore you. So just try to keep a clear head for a little longer.
I say that we all go forward together, see if we can ascertain the scepter's location. If it can be taken perhaps by some coercion, then perhaps that would be the best approach. If not, then I will simply sneak back in later and take it.
perfect plan.
It's a plan, at least.
When we give it back to Ghost, what's to stop him taking it again?
It's not our problem.
You stole the words right out of my mouth, Declan.
That is
And
always
go ahead.
there is always the chance that the ghost will find us to be worthy stewards of the relic. The difference between permission and I do not know the word in common.
Being a thieving asshole. I mean, it's not really a word. It's kind of like a phrase, but I think it fits right here.
Yes, I
Just
was
for the
hoping,
record, I am
was
not a
hoping
thief.
there was a word for
I
it.
didn't say you were a thief. I'm saying
So
he's a
Gorat
thief.
is a thief. Yes, Gorat
Alright.
is definitely a thief. He is essentially a tomb raider who desecrated the temple.
We're just thieving it back.
All right. Now let's get to it. What say you?
It belongs in a museum.
Oh my god.
It belongs in a museum.
We got there. All right. So, you guys head through the streets. The sun's going down mercifully. And you arrive, we'll say, a street away, so you can formulate a plan. You see the two guards just kind of chilling. They've got these big, kind of heavy cloaks on now that it's getting dark.
Well, I think we're just going up to the front door.
Okay.
Yes.
So you enter the street, and immediately the guards like walk out in front of you. And it's not like they're sort of on high alert. It's more like they're trying to be kind of casual about it. And so they're sort of looking like with their heads kind of leaned back slightly, trying to size you up. One of them sort of staring at Makood, and the other one kind of crosses his arms. And they're both kind of well-built, tall gentlemen. And he says, oh, hello, my friends. Bit late for a stroll, is it not?
We are not strolling. We are going to go see the healer Garat.
Right.
And this one is deathly ill. Some sort of disease I do not recognize. And like she looks to Bryn.
Get out of my way. Can you not see I'm sick?
Sort of like stares at you for a moment, kind of leans in close, like trying to discern any symptoms.
Lean much closer, and I'm sure I can give it to you as well.
She is a foreign woman. Came on ship with this illness. My temple did not recognize it. We seek the healer.
Deception check with advantage, Bryn.
That is a 21.
Okay. God sort of look at each other and then kind of consider you for a moment, and he sort of steps away from you and he says, well,
I am protected by the God of my faith. You might not be so guarded.
right, we were just, making sure. Sometimes get strange folks around here. Carry on. And they sort of like awkwardly kind of walk away back to the stand. And you guys are free to continue down towards the front door.
May the light of he who watches shine on you.
They sort of give like a non-committal noise of agreement. You arrive at the front gate. You walk up the garden path, seeing all the running, fresh, clear water that he has in the various features in his garden. And arrive at the big white front doors, up a few steps. Do you knock? Do you bash down the door?
We will knock. We are not savages.
You know.
I mean, it's a thin line when Makood knocks.
Yeah. I
You
feel
know
like
what?
Makood
I'll do the
can
knocking.
Makood can knock it just so the door like perfectly rattles out of its frame.
I have an excellent aristocratic knock. Just a quick tap tap.
He's all like, what? Door was open.
So there's a moment of quiet, and you see and you hear someone kind of approaching, and the door is opened.
Before the doors open, I'm going to lay my hand on Brunhild and cast guidance.
Oh well.
It lasts for only a minute, but just in case.
So the door opens, and you see a very fat, hairy man. He's shirtless, and he's got this sort of kilt of white linen on and bare feet. He, around his neck, wears a symbol of Shaleth and carries this really tall scepter, ending in almost like a drawn bow type sigil at the top, but the bow is pointing with the arrow facing up as though shooting the sky. And it's wrought of this kind of, it almost looks like a mixture of iron and gold, kind of melted in a swirling pattern, almost looking like some kind of marble, but metallic. And he kind of frowns at you a little bit bleary-eyed, and his sort of massive gut is just sticking out towards you. He says, what do you want? What time is it?
Is this the healer?
Yeah. Yes, I'm Gurat the healer.
Well, go on, girl. Tell him how your lot failed to do anything for this.
I am sorry. Shalgarat. I am a priestess of a temple. This Lamentor woman is very, very sick, ill with some disease that I do not recognize. We were hoping that you could heal her before the disease has a chance to spread.
Oh, is that so? And he sort of, his mouth's kind of hanging open slightly. And he's sort of like chewing on his tongue. And you see he like reaches idly with one hand and sort of scratches the inside of his belly button. And he's just kind of ignoring Bryn at this point, and just looking you up and down, Abrishmina, in a very sort of, should we say, unpleasant fashion?
Yep.
Well,
She'll say that.
Yep. He says, well, my powers are great. I could see what I can do.
When he says my powers are great, I want to insight check him.
All right.
It's going to be a 24.
Dude has one thing on his mind, and it's not really healing Bryn. But as for the powers, he certainly believes it.
Okay.
Well, why don't you come inside? Have some wine. And he turns and wobbles away.
I don't think wine will heal me.
Couldn't hurt.
Oh, do not worry. I will heal you in due time.
Rashmina will kind of take Brynhild by the shoulders and kind of like guide her in.
He takes you through to this sort of steam room. It's clearly kind of meant for meetings. There's a couple benches, but it's swelteringly hot, so you immediately start sweating. And there's like really heavy incense burning at one side, and there's like a low sort of cloud of smoke.
Can I roll a medicine check to see if I recognize any drugs in the smoke?
You can.
Well, that's good. That is, again, a 24.
So it's not necessarily drugs. It's a fairly common kind of Ashari thing. A lot of wealthy people have it. It's kind of like if they put, I don't know how you would describe it, sort of like almost painkillers in a thing. Like it sort of makes you like
a sedative kind of thing?
Yeah, but it's not a drug per se. It just creates this like heady atmosphere that makes you feel a little bit sleepy, but it's not like putting you to sleep.
Okay.
If you know what I mean, it's more an atmospheric incense type thing.
It's not dangerous?
No, and it's not necessarily doing anything to you. It's just making you feel a little bit tired and a little bit kind of heady and like sorry. And so he sort of stands and you can see like the sweat kind of running down and kind of getting like caught in the crevice between his, man boobs and his belly. And he's just covered in this like thick down of black hair that like curls up around his shoulders and everything. And he's still kind of he's taking in all of you now, but his eyes do flick to Abrashmina much more often than anyone else. And he says, well, describe your symptoms to me.
Well, I have stomach cramps, chills, foul fluid coming from my nostrils, which my
spinal
healer...
fluid?
I have been assured that it is not, in fact, spinal fluid.
Okay.
Although I doubt very much whether or not it is. As you can see, I have these marks, these sores.
I think I can help. But this is a very exotic and new disease to me. I may need some help. Young lady, and he looks to Abrashmina. Would you help me? Toothy grin. And he stands up and he beckons you to him.
Can I just ask, so are we been brought into a different room, or is it like, and it's just full of this heady smoke, and I presume like chaise longues or something?
It's sort of like it's almost like a sauna. It's not as hot as a sauna, but it's definitely like a heated room, designed to kind of make you sweat out. And yeah, there's this heady atmosphere, so it's a very like, it does make you feel sluggish and slow.
And we haven't seen any guards as we've been walking through, or servants, or anything.
No. No servants. No guards.
I mean, is it very obvious that he is paying more attention to Abrashmina than to
Very,
anyone else?
very, very much so.
Before he takes or Abrashmina does anything, I'm gonna use my mind link
Mhm.
and just send a brief message. Watch yourself around this one. His intentions may not be the best.
Avrashmina will kind of have like a little start of surprise because, well, not the first time that she has heard voices in her head. It is the first time she has heard Brynhild in her head. Does she get the sense that she can reply? Yeah, so Abrashmina will kind of start a little in surprise, but when she replies, like her voice is like level. It's like, I am well aware he is not the first man that I have met who has been like this.
And so he beckons you to him, and he takes up his scepter, and he kind of levels it at Brynhild with the sort of arrow of the bow pointing at you, and he says, he kind of like leans into Abrashmina and he says, "Take hold of the staff," as he's holding it as well.
Yes, and she'll like calmly like take the scepter in both hands and like grateful for the fact that she has no pupils so that he can't tell that she is rolling her eyes.
And he like reaches around with a spare hand and he says, "Get in close." He like pulls you against him, and there's like a as your face like hits into his shoulder, and sort of like pushes.
I am going ugh, but Abrashmina is all like been here, done that.
I got that. And he sort of presses and touches the tip of the staff to Brynhild. And there is like a twisting of green light that sort of runs around from the base of the staff over your hands. And you feel actually like your hands sort of feel kind of cooled and comfortable, and like the magic is having some effect on them, even just touching the staff. And it runs up the end, and it causes the bow on the end to glow green, and then the magic dissipates into Bryn, and suddenly all of your symptoms are gone.
I feel much better.
Oh, well, I am mighty. And he like smiles, and he like stands the staff up, but he keeps his arm around Abrashmina's shoulder.
Obviously.
Well, I would be grateful if you stayed for a drink or two. It is, well, it is not every day I come across such fine company. Grins at Abrashmina.
It's the least we could do. We imposed on you at this late hour.
He gives you like a sage nod that sort of says, "It's no problem, but yes, you should."
Declan's basically just going to watch whatever he does with the staff.
Mm-hmm. He just keeps a hold of it. Make me an insight check. Anyone?
Yep, I do that.
I do that.
19.
Do I have advantage because he's up ons?
Oh.
Nah.
No, it's okay. 18.
Okay,
Getting
well, you
physical
both,
cues.
you both get the impression that he is not likely to let the staff out of his sight wherever possible. It's his meal ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Or mansion ticket, I suppose. And he says, "Very well. I shall get some wine. Be right back." Gives you a little squeeze, Abrashmina, and then
Once he's cleared the room, I'm going to attempt to follow him.
All right, make me a stealth check.
I
You can guide me if you want.
No, I was gonna be all like, "Grrr, we just get him drunk. Brrr." Make him pass
Too late.
out. Okay.
Oh, that's what I'm here for. Kick him under the table. But
17.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're unseen, and so he heads down to the kitchen. He pulls out some wine, and he like uncorks a dark bottle of red, sniffs it, and then kind of goes for a cupboard drawer and pulls out a small vial and pours it in the bottle, and then recorks it.
Okay.
And then
Does he still have a
gathers
staff
up
on
some
him?
goblets. Yeah. He's like it's when he's not using it, or like when he needs both his hands, it's like leaning up within, like on the counter, but within his arms kind of radius. So he puts something in the bottle and then kind of puts the vial away again and turns to come back to the room.
Okay. I'm gonna try to beeline it back to where I was.
Yeah, I'll say no worries because he rolled a shitty perception check.
Before I get, but when I get back to the room, I say, the wine is drugged. He drugged the bottle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just say wine is drugged.
Lena will kind of sigh.
you come back with just the one bottle.
Yeah, so he comes in and he's holding a tray and he's got the scepter sort of clutched awkwardly under one arm, and he puts it down on a little table and he says, "Come, my friends." And actually, Declan, make me a perception check, please.
Ooh, that's real good. 29.
He is finishing up chewing something.
Okay.
Um,
So he gave
you see
himself
him-
the antidote.
Yeah, that's probably what you think. He's like, he's doing that thing where you've just finished eating, you're sort of cleaning off your teeth with your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
So he puts it down. He says, "This is one of my favorite reds," and he begins pouring it.
I'm going to move over and begin talking to him, and then I would like to pull a capsule out of my my medicine bag.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's pouring it into his own goblet, I'd like to drop, basically, what's the word for it? An anesthetic, something to knock him out into his goblet. So if I can just slide a hand or something.
Okay, sleight of hand check.
20, dirty 20.
Okay. He kind of spots you going for your pocket,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "Oh, don't worry, my friend. I'll pour yours for you," assuming that you're going for something else. Imagine he spots you before you've, tried to actually put it in his glass.
Sure.
And he sort of surveys you all. Oh, yeah?
Makud hasn't done anything stupid, and I really feel he should do. Makud is massive and also likes his drink, and he's been presented one bottle, which is regularly been not enough for him alone.
Yeah.
So while Declan is kind of half distracting him, Makud just takes the bottle and then just downs the whole thing. Because I can only imagine he doesn't have that many vials.
Declan's eyes are wide.
Yeah. So Makud steps up and goes, "I guess this one is for me," and takes the whole bottle and just downs it.
Gurak goes, yes. And he's like, "Oh fuck! I just killed a guy." Make me a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
Okay. Oh, well, that's not bad. That is not bad either. That was a 15 and a 16 on the dice. Plus con is 5, so 20 at minimum.
Okay, Makud, as you finish it, you see white dregs of powder lining the inside of the bottle as it's coming down. But
I can collapse if you want me to.
no. So you pass the check. You feel you're like, whoa. It's like you've drunk 50 bottles, you know, like
Sure.
you feel real drunk, but you're still, you know, awake and alive.
He
And,
sort of
you know, Declan, you imagine that whatever kind of sedative this was.
It was no match for Makud.
Yeah, but also if you'd have drunk that, you'd be dead.
Right.
Like, and Gurat is just like mouth open, eyes wide.
Well, I fear that we've made horrible fools of ourselves. I don't think we can take up any more of your time or drink any more of your wine. If you would allow us to be on our way. Deepest apologies for our bumbling friend here, Makud. Honestly, Makud, why would you drink all the man's wine?
No, it's quite all right. It's quite. I will get more wine. There is lots more wine.
No.
Wait. Just wait. It's fine. Don't worry. I'll be right back. He leaves and he closes the door behind him.
I suggest that we leave.
Or we take the staff and go.
Well, I'm going to come back later and take it so he doesn't know it was us.
Can we like see down like the hall where he's gone?
No, he's closed the door after him.
He closed the door after him. Okay.
Food like takes like one half step back, and he's still like looking up the bottle and looking at that powder and goes, "This is strong stuff."
Yes, I can. Let's take the bottle so I can get a sample of that powder at the bottom. Let's leave. I think
It won't be more suspicious now that we've already left. That we're here, and then suddenly his magical staff comes up missing.
Well, it would be more suspicious if we leave and the staff comes with us.
We have to at least
back
have.
across the hall.
We have to at least stay for a drink.
Do you want to be drugged? The door opens and we shut up.
Yeah. Oh, my friends, and he's got 3 bottles on and they're all already open. And he places them down. He begins pouring them quickly into goblets before Makud can take the whole bottle again. And he starts handing them out. Oh, so how is temple life treating you? And he like looks to Habershmina and he sort of raises his eyebrows, like waiting for her to tell him her name.
Give a fake name, says a voice.
She like opens her mouth and is all like Vishta and
Aravishna, what a lovely name.
and as she says that, she's casting thaumaturgy to make the door behind him slam open. And whenever he turns around, she's gonna dump her goblet in the brazier behind her.
All right, sleight of hand check.
Oh, I'm gonna use my inspiration from the recap. I made it slightly better. That's my side.
Can I do some kind of assistance? Can I cause a distraction or something?
I feel like this is too split second for you to be able to react.
All right.
It's a 15.
A 15 is enough. He didn't roll very well again. And so you're just sitting there with an empty goblet.
The first one was a 3, and she's like, it's so good, so good.
Oh, you liked it? Oh, it is very expensive. Sort of like strokes his chin. So how is temple life treating you, Aravishna?
It is all right. I serve he who watches, and she kind of like gestures towards the holy symbol around her neck.
Just all right. Are you not satisfied? He leans in close.
Oh God.
It is temple life. You used to reside in the temple of Shaletha, yes? Or Shaleth, yes?
I did, but I moved up in the world, shall we say? You know, a bright young thing like yourself, you could do the same.
Yes, your gifts have served you well.
Well, I just try and serve where I can. Speaking of which, I will require a small fee for the wear and tear that it causes me physically to do such a arduous task as healing your friend. But I'm sure you understand. We can talk about that later.
Well, I'm sure Brynhild will, or not Brynhild, she is too wise to say that. I am sure the Lamentar will have no issue paying you.
Well, you know,
Are you going to talk about me like I'm not here? Is this how this works in this country?
what?
You spend more time speaking with the help?
My apologies. It is just interesting to meet someone of a similar background as my own. I'm sure you understand.
It's my coin we'll be spending.
Yes, my apologies. Here, have some wine. He hands it to her.
She'll take the glass and kind of do the whole like start to like take a drink and be like, I was rather interested in how you came about your healing powers. I've always wondered how one is gifted by the gods.
Well, it was a reward from Shaleth herself for my selflessness and my protection of the small folk of this great city.
We don't need the insight check to know he's lying. 'Cause
Nice,
he knows.
yes, full of shit.
What ways were you helping the small folk?
Oh, arms for the poor, orphans, that sort of thing.
So many orphans.
Orphans, exactly. You understand. You understand.
The ways here are so different from my own. You said you follow Shaletta?
Shaleth, yes.
Shaleth.
Try the wine. It is really wonderful.
Who's already drunk? Like several glasses.
Okay, it's just like, oh, sure, I'll try the wine.
He's like holding it like pinched between two fingers or something to not like break the fancy glasses and just like it's like little shots.
Bryn will take a small, like cautious kind of sip and be like, "This is very different than the wine we get back in Lament."
It is. It is quite old, very expensive, but for such esteemed company as yourselves. But you really don't get the proper flavor palette unless you take a good hearty gulp. Let me show you. And he takes a big gulp of his own.
Okay.
I'm
Is
afraid
it strong
that
for Makud, or does he not know? Can he not tell anymore?
Makud, you don't even, you are so shit-faced that you can't feel the difference between having it going down your throat and not. So it could be like all in your fur and everything. Like you've never been this drunk before.
Okay. Fair enough. It's good.
Well said, Makud.
Yes, see, Makud, he's enjoying it. See, have a gulp. You do, Mr. Whatever your name is. Have a gulp. Oh, well, that is, I don't mean to, you don't understand our customs, but that is actually quite rude.
I'm comfortable with that.
I am not. I would really, just a small one. And he tries to push one into your hand.
I've said no, sir. Thank you.
Oh, very well. Very well. Puts it down. So, anyway, Miss Aravishna, what are you doing currently, day to day? I'm interested.
If I can interrupt for a moment, it seems that I've overstayed my welcome in your home anyway.
Well, quite, yes.
I think I will take my leave and leave my friends with you.
That is agreeable.
I wish you all good cheer. And I'll make my way to the front door.
Yeah, he lets you take yourself out. He's far too enamored with Avrishmina.
Instead, I'm going to stealth my way up to his bedroom.
Yep.
And I'm going to hide out there.
Okay. The bedroom is pretty expansive. There's like a small koi pond.
Mm-hmm. I hide in the koi pond.
Yeah, under a lily pad.
Just like a little structure.
Yeah, just a wee. Yeah, I love it. Robin Hood.
Does he get up to escort Declan
No.
out?
I said he's too enamored with Abrishmina, and he lets him make his own way.
I will rifle through his stuff a little bit.
Yeah, you find lots of like flowing silk and linen garbs. You find lots of like oil for rubbing oneself, sweet perfumes, lots of wine, a very large cabinet full of strange powders and whatnot.
Can I identify some of them?
You can try.
Medicine?
Sure.
21. Okay.
You definitely recognize what appears to be the same thing he poured in the drink. It's got...
I'll take a sample of that.
Yeah, it's got many names, but from what you can tell, it seems to be a fairly standard sort of memory-suppressing...
Roofie powder.
Roofie.
Yeah, what's the word, though? The proper word?
Rufinol?
No,
Oh,
like sedative.
Sedative.
Yeah, it's a memory-inhibiting sedative, i.e., a roofie.
Roofie powder.
Yeah.
This guy's like, it reminds me of Hedonism Bot in Futurama.
Yes. Fetch the oil, Chumbe.
Abrashmina is going to try to make eye contact with Bryn to see if she can instigate that communication again.
Do I need to do any kind of like check to make sure that I'm like picking up?
Sure, make an insight check.
With this,
For the
wait, no,
comedy.
it's fine.
Oh no.
Why would you do that to me, Jade? I had the plan.
I mean, I rolled a 14, so
She
that's
just
not
had
bad,
to
no,
stay
yeah.
for a second.
That's fine. Yeah, you know. You understand that Abrishmina is trying to get your attention.
we should probably make a quick exit.
Did she say that in her head?
A voice says in your head.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't just say that out loud, but she's going to say, if we go along and pretend to be drugged, then he might leave the staff somewhere to, like, deal with things.
While you're having this like very pertinent conversation, Makuda's like, "I'm so glad you were okay, Bryn. Whatever he did to you was so awful. Like,
You guys are my best friends.
The voice in your head will respond, "You play a dangerous game, but all right."
Meanwhile, as you sort of refocus on the, what's happening, Garat's got his arm out in front of you, and he's like stroking his forearm, and he says, "Feel that? That is honey oil. Feel." And he like takes your hand and puts it on his, like damp skin, and like kind of gets you like rubbing his arm to feel the lovely oil that he's put on himself.
So Abrashmina will try to keep a straight face and go, "Oh, yes, it's very nice."
Yes, very expensive too. Do you like that? It is hard to get around here, but maybe I could pull some strings for you.
I am sure you don't need to go to that much trouble, she says, trying to like pretend to be like a little bit
Make a
woozy.
deception check.
Okay. She's got charisma for days. What is her deception now? 12.
Okay, well, he rolled a 5. He says, that is good. Here, have some more wine. And he's like gazing intently at you.
And Abrashmina will, bring the cup up to her lips and like kind of like look back at Bren again, and then like make shit. She doesn't have pupils. Fuck. She's gonna say with eyes at Macoon so that tell him, but she can't do that. So she's going to kind of like point an index finger from the cup towards Macoon as she's like pretending to take a drink.
I guess then Mukud will hear Bryn's voice. She's playing a dangerous game. Keep an
Is it
eye.
Yahtzee?
So,
yeah. So a quite inebriated Macood gets Bryn's voice, probably doesn't realise that
No,
you're
he
talking
probably
to him in
thinks
his
she's-
head, and just goes, I
Yeah.
love to play dangerous games.
Gurat, luckily, because his perception's so bad, isn't focusing. He's actually got his finger on the bottom of the goblet and is tipping it up to try and make her drink it.
Do I have to do anything to kind of like she's going to like lean a little bit away so that she's kind of like whenever he's tipping, it's just kind of like going with so that it's not actually increasing the angle of the cup.
Yeah, you're just like slowly sitting up straighter and straighter.
Yeah, and kind of like tilting away a tiny bit.
Unless someone does something, though, it's eventually going to start tipping over your face.
She's kind of like after it's at like 45 degrees or whatever, she's like it's so good, and like kind of push it away.
Yeah. And so he'll look slightly annoyed, but not. Say, yes, it is. Has a sip of his own. Say, you have lovely skin. I like it very much.
I'd like to wear it.
Shudder.
He is still entirely enamored
Yeah,
and distracted and not looking at his glass.
sure.
Sure. Because it seems Bryn isn't going to do any switcheroos, so Makuda's going to go, I will get you more. And like he's going to like stand up suddenly, possibly some bits of furniture will fall over, and he like takes himself and glasses and this guy's glass and just start pouring whatever bottle is available.
So are you like going through to the kitchen? Or are you...
Oh, I thought he'd like brought 3 bottles
Yeah, he
in
had.
and they were kind of there.
Oh,
Are
right,
they all
right, I
gone?
gotcha.
Or
No.
okay, because I don't know which ones are drugged or not, but he's just going to start pouring
They're all drugged.
liquid.
I was gonna say they're all drugged. He took an
I mean,
handout.
we
Sure.
don't have, but Makut doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Makut thinks-
And now his glass is filled with
So
that.
he like kind of gives you like a half sideways glance and says, yes, thank you. Yes, you have lovely skin. He turns back to Abrashmina.
Oh, it is so hot in here. She starts fanning herself.
Would you like to maybe see my pond? Nice and cool.
Yes, I think the smoke is too smoky.
That's quite all right. And he like reaches down and kind of like stands up and scoops you with him. His like hand on your ass a little bit. And he begins like walking you out of the steam room.
Will he stop us if we try to follow?
Is he taking the staff?
Yeah, he's taking the staff.
Okay.
And do you try to follow?
Yeah.
He's currently drinking at the drinks table. But
He says, he stops and says, I think, he like turns back to you over his shoulder and says, I think Aravishna's had maybe a little bit too much wine. I will just, I will take a let her cool down. You wait here. I'll be back to greet you properly as guests.
I assume he still has the staff on him.
Yeah.
All right. And as soon as he's out of the room, I'm going to turn to Makud and say, do you want to see a magic trick? I'll wink and cast invisibility.
By the gods. And he like starts, doing that slow arm wave, like where you were, like.
And then I'll follow.
Okay. I will not make you make a stealth check for that. And so he leads Abrishmina up into his bedroom, where Dylan, stealth check, please.
That's pretty good.
Pause for just a second before we move on to the next
Mm-hmm.
scene. Thank you. Sorry.
22.
Okay, you're well hidden. I think we're just taking a quick break.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah.
No worries.
I'm right back.
This is where Declan should like put on his mask and be all like, "Surprise, motherfuckers!"
Yeah, I am sorry, see.
No, I am. It's fine. Totally fine. It's fine. Legit. It's fine.
I know. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't think it would be okay. I'll also be honest, pretty much entirely ad-libbed.
Were you not planning on him trying to roof
No,
you?
not at all.
You seem so practiced at date rape, Rob.
Well, this is recorded, so I don't know what you're talking about. No, but basically, a lot of what I do with encounters is like I set up sort of the details. So I had like what his house is like, and sort of that, the physical stuff that I need to be able to make the encounter work. But then the actual like character and stuff, and how the encounter is going to go, I'll just leave that, and then something always strikes me in game. And that's usually much more interesting than anything I come up with beforehand. And so I just like love the idea of him just like basically slowly obsessing over Abrishmina and then taking it to a creepy ass level. Plus goddess of trickery,
Yeah. I mean, sure,
Yeah.
it's like goddess probably doesn't.
Yeah,
like-
no, I know, but that's probably how he just justifies it to himself.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Shaleth is a chaotic good deity.
Chaotic good. I thought maybe neutral.
No.
So yeah, his practices right now are like way.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
He's reliant on a staff because he probably can't get his own magic to work.
Yeah, he is like.
He can't get it up.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh, that
He
is
can't get it up on his own.
definitely true.
Oh god. I don't want to know what's in that cabinet.
Yeah, he's like a button in a fur coat down there.
Oh god, I didn't need that image.
Ugh.
I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick.
Oh,
Don't drink wine or Kool-Aid.
I was like, I have to do something stupid. I really wanted to go when all the introductions were being made. I was like, and Makud is here. Just like try insert himself into things, but then you brought up booze, so I like to think like his life in the desert. There was like very few ways to indulge yourself, and then life in the Vakar as like champion fighter, he would only be occasionally, given those kind of treats at like a party or something. So it's always other people or situations controlling his consumption to an extent. So he has like no stop. It is just all drink. Also, I absolutely would love it if I failed that save and just went, stiff as a board and collapsed backwards.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe you would have got on with Makud instead.
Maybe.
Oh my.
Depending on how much Makud remembered, it depends very much on if that guy was still alive.
He's probably not going to make it out of this one alive.
Let's try not to kill the guy if we can.
I mean,
you're underneath.
makes no
You're in the koi pond. See, it's just.
I'm not in the koi pond.
Nope, scattered.
No. I'm like behind the curtains or something. I don't know.
Just love the fact that you guys are going to go in and do this 3-pronged, like, seduction stealing mission, and Makood is just like raiding the pantry for munchies.
It's like just finding crisps.
Yes.
Makood's just gonna do that thing where he wakes up and his hand is still in the bag.
It's so convenient. They made these fried snacks, but in their bag.
Makood's just got a traffic cone, like, in his bed. He doesn't know where from.
In his own one horn.
Yeah. Amazing.
Ooh.
You just hear from like downstairs, just the roar of "Do you have a family?" Just really, really drunk and really loud.
I seem to love playing characters that are just horrible, like creep you out, like Burger Dish.
I never got to see the end of that, thankfully.
Well, yeah, it was basically going to be the amulet, like healed you for like 10 hit points a round, but once it healed 100 hit points, Burger Dish was reformed in the world somewhere and would come for you.
I am glad that Byron did not like the amulet.
But
then.
yeah, you guys are too smart, so you're like, nope.
That does not. I mean, you can always set a one-shot where some kid puts it on.
Aw.
Somehow,
Well,
suddenly Burger Dish is reformed.
but Burger Dish would still come for Byron.
Yes.
And as you've previously established, Byron is going to live forever because clone.
very true.
Constantly haunted by Burger Dish for the rest of eternity. God
Maybe
damn
that's
it.
why she called you an Elfie. Because it's like, you're going to live a long time.
Oh my.
Each likes. But yeah, I imagine that's in a bag of holding in the sea now.
I mean, we
In
had
the
a
s-
traumatic experience with magic items before that, so we were kind of gun shy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we maybe we like took that bag of holding whenever we got Kidius out of the void. We just like, you know, we did a switcheroo.
This is the bag of evil shit that we don't want
Yeah.
anyone else to get. Yeah.
We're just gonna like bloop this in the spot where he was in the void, and we're gonna call it good.
Now, Remy, remember, take this bag to some plane and leave it where no one can find it.
worry.
Just some Hawaiian model chick, like wearing it. Suddenly gets attacked by a tiny goblin witch. And her like actual character was just designed to neutralize spellcasters. So she was just like all counter spells and dispel magics and all that sort of thing.
She just pops out of the sand. Where is Byron?
Where's my pretty? Where's my pretty?
Yeah, love it. Anywho, back to the other creepy character. So he kind of he frog marches Abrishmina into his bedroom. What are you guffawing at, Dylan?
Oh, I just think frog marches is a very funny way to
Odd
describe
way
it.
yeah.
Is that not a word in?
No, it is.
It
It's
is
where
totally
like
a
you've
thing.
got someone's
Yeah.
feet behind their feet, so you're like making them.
I mean, that's technically what it is, but it just sort of means like escorting forcefully.
Oh, is that what it means? I thought you were describing like his particular gait.
No.
No.
Like,
Okay.
if you
To frog march someone.
to frog
somewhere,
march someone is to like, you know, you like frog march a prisoner.
Like they're in
Yeah.
front of you and you're kind of driving
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah, or you grab them by the ear and drag them
I
like
see.
frog marching.
Got
Twist
it.
their arm behind their back and
Yeah, arm behind the
just an
back.
arm, yeah.
I had never heard it. Now I know.
Yeah, it's a good word for exactly
what
what
is
this guy what this guy's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he frog marches Abrashmina to his bedroom, and
voice
Declan.
in Aprishmina's ear will be like, I'm right behind you. I won't let anything happen.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
where is the pond? It is so hot.
It is down there, but you'd be more comfortable on the bed, I feel. Sort of like steers you away.
But I want to see the pretty fishes.
Well, if you would like to cool down, you should take off some of those hot clothes.
I really see Declan pretending to be a fish now. Like, bloop, bloop.
Come on, let me help you. And he like reaches and begins trying to get your dress.
Oh
That's-
no, that's
And
and like Abrashmina is gonna like do that thing where like, no, I'll get it, and like bend over and like headbutt him as pretending to
He
bend
stumbles
over to
back,
get her
puts a
boots.
foot in the pond.
I mean, at this point, he has put down the staff, right?
No, he's still holding it.
How is he undoing
Yeah.
the thing and holding
No,
the
he's
staff?
just like reaching to sort of pull it with one hand.
Oh,
Like
okay.
he's not trying particularly hard. You get the impression you're sort of watching like any second he's going to put it down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so he's sort of
that's
like
I'm gonna go for the nose with the headbutt to like make him go like, oh no, with both hands.
yeah. He clutches with one hand, but quickly like stops the bleeding and heals himself with the staff when he's righted. Oh, you bitch! Oh.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
He sort of like calms himself down. That is all right, but you will have to make it up to me.
I said I was sorry.
That's not quite enough, I'm afraid. He puts the staff down, leaning it against the wall, and begins like reaching for his kilt.
At this point in time, I think Bryn would step forward if I'm able to like maybe get like a fistful of like his cloak or whatever like around him with the dagger and be like, if you make one more fucking move, I will cut you.
Yeah, so he's not wearing a cloak. He's
Or like
literally wearing
around
a
a
kilt.
tunic or whatever.
No, he's
It's
shirtless.
it's his kilt, so you'd be
Yeah, he's
grabbing around
shirtless.
his butt.
Well, like I mean like around like his shoulders, kind of like a
The only
Big
item of
chest.
clothing he's wearing is a kilt.
fine then
So you can,
handful
like put an arm around him.
handful of fucking hair.
Oh, nice. Greasy, sweaty, slick back hair. And he's
You're really enjoying how gross this guy is, Rob.
oh, dude, gets me through the day.
I really hope
I,
someone
like-
had enlarged reduce, and then you could just reduce what was going to happen next.
And I just like and like maybe like kick his knees to like drop him to his knees at like the same time.
Yeah, he sort of lets out like a very unmanly whimper, drops to his knees.
If I can, if I'm within arm's reach of the staff, I'm just going to grab it and go out the window with it, if I can get it without him noticing.
Stealth check.
What is it? That is a 22.
Ooh, you just beat him. Okay. You can grab it and get out.
I do.
And it's a second story window, but you can sort of parkour.
Yeah, I mean, I can make an athletics check if you want,
Yeah, go on then.
or acrobatics, I guess, if we're going down.
Acrobatics.
Yeah, that's a 16.
Yeah, I'll say that's fine. You can kind of drop into the gardens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I will just kind of make a beeline, hop over the wall, and head back towards
Yeah.
my.
Yeah, and Abrashmina is going to like straighten up and going to use thaumaturgy and like make like her voice boom and like her eyes flare brighter for a second. Then she's going to say, "You dare lay hands on the jewel of the Watcher," and like trying to intimidate the fucker.
Yeah. Make an intimidation check.
Okay. God, fuck. Rolled badly. But
I mean, the invisible foe
charisma-
attacking him could be your Deva. Could be the act of God.
I mean, I could do a little like, you know, mind link, let the screams of the dreaming dark into his brain kind of thing.
Ooh.
Do I have advantage with my intimidation
Yeah,
check?
go on in.
Okay.
Go on in.
Okay, going on. Only a 15, unfortunately.
He, with the dagger in his back, sort of like grits his teeth a little bit, and he says, "What are you going to do? People will know if I go missing."
No, I think that the Temple of Shaleth would be very interested in how you are spreading the good name of your goddess. This sort of behavior, and she like points to a goblet or whatever, is frowned upon in any circle.
How did you? Make me a perception check, you two.
My perception is much better than my 24.
Yeah, it's a dirty 20.
Okay, only Abrishmina notices his hand slip to his side and kind of beneath the kilt.
Abrashmina will reach out and grab the wrist, and I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Don't know what he's grabbing for.
I don't, but I feel like I don't need to know.
It's all bad. It's all bad.
Yeah, that is going to be a 23 to hit.
That does hit.
And that is going to be 20 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh. Okay.
Do not lay hands on me.
He just screams in pain, and you see before him, like onto the floor, drops a black gem. And he's just like clutching his hand, screaming.
You,
safe priest.
You will not mention our names. You will not repeat to anyone that we were here. Or we will let everyone know your dirty little secrets. And she's gonna like twist his wrist.
Oh, okay. Okay, I will. I won't. Please.
I hear a whisper. You come back. But you will not whisper, will you?
No. I won't.
Insight check him.
Okay.
That is an 18.
He is pretty scared, but he just wants you to let go of his wrist.
It's like, we are going to leave. You will not follow. And she's going to bend, like let him go and like reach for the gem.
Okay. Yeah. You pick up the gem.
Mm-hmm.
You get a real bad feeling from the gem.
Mm-hmm.
That is all.
Yeah, she's gonna like put it in the pocket away from him, and she's going to step away.
And he just like lies there whimpering.
She's gonna like look. Is Bryn visible right now, or is she still invisible?
She'll be visible now because it wasn't great invisibility.
No, but it lasts the normal invisibility lasts for an hour. Greater lasts for a minute.
Yeah, but she's done something.
Yeah, she
Oh,
kind
so
of
she
attacked him.
grappled
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of
grappled.
attacked him.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah, but-
attack action.
Yeah.
I understand.
Sure.
Oh, that's why I was asking. So Abrashmina will just like look to Bryn and say, "We will go," and walk out.
Okay. You hear him kind of shuffling a bit as you head downstairs.
We are walking with the quickness to gather Makud.
Yeah, you hear rummaging in the kitchen.
Yeah. So as you reach Makud, you find him in the kitchen, and you hear what sounds like the man Gurat stepping out onto the landing, overlooking the sort of central foyer.
We should go now.
I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration on Makud.
Makud sobers up real fast.
Is he like just eating something at the time and then sobers up and is like, "Oh
He's
my
like-
god, this
I
looks."
imagine he's like drinking olive vinegar,
Yeah. Oh,
and then
Brian.
realizes that he's like, "Oh God, no!" And
Yeah, there's
You-
like a jar of olives or something like that. They're all like glug, 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 glug into his huge gullet.
you see him, Gurat, step out onto the balcony, and in his hand is another gem, but this one's red and much larger. And he like shouts as though drunk, like, "You think you can threaten me in my own home?" And he throws the gem down the stairs at the foyer, and it smashes on the ground. And
Am I within range to see any of this or hear any of this?
you're outside, so you can hear it.
Okay.
But yeah, you can't see it. You maybe see like a flash of light from the window, and there's this huge flash of red light, and this giant beast appears in a cloud of smoke and a ray of light. It's a horrific looking creature, like a giant ape, that's sort of red and blue with these huge fists and tusks in like a toothy maw. It's got glowing red eyes, and it like turns around to sort of look for a target sniffing the air. Unfortunately, though, the first person it sees is Gurat as you're all in the kitchen, and it takes off after him, running up the stairs.
Sorry.
And he kind of squeals and runs into his room and slams the door. And the creature begins like battering on the door to try and get in.
Does that give us enough of a distraction to get out?
If you'd like.
We cannot leave that thing to murder him.
There'll be guards. We cannot be here when the guards come.
Why not? He summoned this thing.
I would really rather not explain why we were here.
We were here to cure you. We cannot let this thing rampage. If it kills him and goes into attack another home, there will be innocents.
It roars and punches, and the door goes flying off its hinges. And it
Not my problem.
crashes into the room, and you hear Gurat squeal and a thunk, thunk. And then you hear nothing else, apart from the creature moving upstairs.
Fine.
The thing roars and walks back out into the hall, like walking on its fists.
Makud, you agree with me, yes? We cannot leave this thing to rampage.
he eyed up that. Well, I suppose he didn't see it. He's just heard the noises as you explained it. We were in the kitchen. I think Makuda's like a giant. I don't know, some sort of turkey leg or a shawl leg or something. In one hand and like the hammer in the other. He's like, I don't know what brought that thing. I'm not sure I've heard something sound like that before, but we can't really let it run wild.
What size is Makud?
He's still medium technically, but the very high. You know how like Goliath's 8 foot
Yeah,
tall and medium. He's like 7
this-
foot tall with like 2 foot horns and medium.
This thing is large, so it is significantly bigger,
Okay.
and it's probably on the large side of large. But
Puts it at
It
like
is.
15 feet tall.
yeah, he's a big boy. It leaps from the balcony to sort of catch the chandelier as though it was a tree branch, but the chandelier falls, and so the thing crashes to the floor, landing on the sort of table in the center of the foyer between you and the door. And it sort of slowly picks itself up, shaking its head. Kind of begins like squaring up towards the kitchen where it sees and hears movement.
Abarashmina is going to what is it called? She's going to activate her radiant soul, and so like the thing is otherworldly and demonic looking clearly to her, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's going to say, your kind has no place on this realm, leave now. And she's activates her radiant soul, and like the light wings like appear behind her, and like she kind of like sets herself all like gonna kick your ass pose.
Nice. What's everyone else doing?
She's fighting, so Makud will do the same. I presume he has never seen anything like this. Presumably demonic
Right. You've
type
seen
creature.
apes, and
Sure.
this looks like a dire ape, like huge. It's the Makud of apes.
And it's between us and the exit now.
It is now.
Mina seems very, very determined that we are going to banish this creature. So Makud is going to grit his teeth, or take a bite out of the turkey leg thing, grit his teeth, I think like throw the turkey leg at the creature, and then he's going to charge at it, raging as he goes.
I love it. All right, let's roll some initiative. Oh no.
I really hope Declan can hear.
Well, I know there's action, so I guess should I roll or no?
Yeah.
It might also have been like a flash of light or something.
Yeah. I said you
Yeah.
heard it and you saw
Yeah.
a flash of light,
Okay.
red light coming through the window.
17.
Also 17.
I have a 21.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm very reluctant to fight, so I got a 9.
Yeah.
I just wanted to escape and leave this fool to his doom, but
All right, Makud, you're up first.
All right, you got a bunch of neutral. Got a neutral good cleric in your party.
Okay. I am going to do the whole. So yeah, there is like an oversized turkey leg or something that bounces off the creature, and then Makud goes into the thing, and I don't know how far away it is exactly, but I presume I can reach it. And
Yeah,
smack
within
it.
movement.
Okay. Uh, 19 to hit.
A 19 hits.
Excelente. So that is 9 damage. Oh no, 11 because it's plus the rage.
Nice.
And then
Are you raging though?
yes, he rages as he goes in. So I did describe that, but I mean he is versus a giant unnatural beast. And he's kind of like, oh no, he's not drunk anymore, I guess, but still.
Yeah, sorry, I
it's
had to
good
ruin
go
your fun.
down. So I think like as he goes, this thing is like partially wrecked the house, and like the dust and stuff starts to kick up as Makud like runs
yeah.
through it, and like the clouds are moving, and you almost see shapes. Like it has some sort of sentience, and then he's going to smash into the thing. And could it make so an opposed athletics? And I'm going to try and like shove it back. Oh no, it's a DC check. So roll
it
a
a
strength check. Yeah, a strength save.
10.
It fails. So Makut smashes into it, and it goes back 5 or 10 feet,
Yeah, it's it.
maybe into the wall.
Stumbles backwards, taken by surprise by the power of Makud, and it stumbles backwards into the back wall of the house or the front wall of the house.
And that's my go. So I push it further away from everyone else, so maybe it can't reach them. Yeah. It's also going to get the answer. The air is whipping up, so the first creature I hit while raging until the start of my next turn, it has disadvantages on attacking anyone but me, and if it still manages to hit them, they have damage resistance to it. It's like the dust is confusing it, and you almost see sort of shapes of minotaurs in the dust.
That is awesome. Declan and Abrashmina.
Jinx. You go.
Okay. Abrashmina is going to raise a finger, and a black beam of light is going to erupt and try to strike the creature with 21 to hit.
Hit.
As she casts Ray of Enfeeblement. So on a hit, the target will deal only half damage with attacks that use strength until the spell ends. It can make Constitution saving throws at the end of each of its turn to try and shake off the weakening effect.
Nice. Does it get a save now, or is it?
No, it is weakened.
Have you done some damage to it as well as part of that, or is it? Just,
no, it's just the array. Okay. And then for that is her action. Yes, that is action. So bonus action, she cannot do that because that's another spell. So that is her turn, and she's going to. This is a foyer, so there's like space above. So she's gonna fly up.
Yeah.
Because she's out of the field of combat.
Awesome. Declan.
So currently I'm in like the backyard essentially, right?
Yeah.
And the sound came from the other side of the house?
It did.
Okay. From the inside, do I think, or from the outside?
Yeah. You've got a pretty good idea where the sound's coming from.
And they're still in the foyer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you think it'll take you 3 movements to get there?
3 movements.
But as a rogue, you have the dash move.
I do have the dash. Yeah, so that's what I'll do. Can I just sort of like stow the staff real quick as like a free action?
Yeah. Where would you like to store it?
Well,
I could say you were doing that while they were sort of messing about in the kitchen.
Yeah, if I can just like stick it like tightly into a shrub someplace.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I'll do movement, action, bonus action, move, dash.
So you basically just sprint back in into the room, and like you see basically this giant beast going toe to toe with Makud.
Oh my god!
Bryn.
What the hell is that?
So I'll move up, draw both rapiers, and take 2 slices at it.
All right.
For a 19 and a 17.
Both hit.
Uh, 9 points of damage each.
Very nice. Okay. It's this thing's go. It roars and takes all 3 attacks against Makood. And all 3 attacks are going to be reckless.
Oh shit!
That is a natural 20
Now,
on the bite.
Reaper cleric, grave cleric.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. No, that doesn't happen. Abrashmina will use her reaction to negate the critical hit with her thing. Do I have that yet? I have that yet. No, yes.
I
Do I have
really hope you do.
Oh, I don't think I do, dude. Hold on. Let me check. No, I can't do that yet. That is level 6.
Oh, son of a bitch.
no.
Okay, crit.
Sorry.
A crit, a 25 on the second one, and a 17 on the third, or no, a 19 on the third one.
He does have his ray of enfeeblement, though, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Which
it's
means
gonna
he does
be half
half damage.
damage. He does half damage, and then you take half of that. So you're
Yeah.
fine. You're fine.
Oh, yes, he hits all 3. That second one hit with like almost 10 above what you needed to hit. So
For the first
do
one,
the
then,
damage, it all gets halved, and then I halve it again.
okay.
Bludgeoning, I guess.
Oh, those are some rolls. 21, 25
On the crit.
piercing on the crit, half 12, half 6. So you take
See?
6 on the first one,
Oh,
and then
that would
on
have been
the
half my health.
on the second one,
The Raven Feeble saved you. Saved you 3 things, not just 1.
on the second one you take 5 halved down to 1, and 7, which would be 3 and then 1.
See?
Oh no,
See, the
no,
Raven-
sorry, that's a lie. It's 9 on the first one and 11 on the second one. So 2 on the first one and 2 on the second one.
See?
So
After the
10 damage
turn,
total after all your halves. And it gets a save now, yeah?
Yeah, con save.
Plus 6, that is 17.
Okay, it saves.
It just lets out another bellow, and you see it kind of stretch out its arms,
Its muscles
preparing for another battle.
flex.
Yeah, dude is fucking jacked in the book. And with that, it's back to McCool's turn.
Well, I survived the first turn.
Fine.
Makood, now having used his horns to hammer this thing, ironically is now going to hammer this thing with an actual hammer. That's 16 plus 7
Hits.
for mini. That is 2d6.
46.
Grab. Oh. That is 12 this time.
12 damage.
12 damage. I could use my reaction to knock it back further.
It is kind of up against the wall.
Okay. Then that is fine. I will. Yeah. Again, ancestral protectors, things like clawing at it and distracting it and the rest of things. 12 damage.
Abrashmina in tackling.
Abrashmina is going to use her bonus action to kind of slash at the air as though she is striking it with a sword as she casts spiritual weapon, and her deva Ramiel appears to her, but no one else just sees the starlit sword appear and starts slashing into it.
And he turns to you just before he does, and he says, let's send this creature back to where it is from. And then begins slashing in.
And she's going to shout, I see the path it takes. That's a dirty 20 on the hit.
Oh, yeah. That's a hit.
That will be spiritual weapon. What is that damage? 9 plus 4 for her radiant soul. So 13 points of force / radiant damage. Do you need that
No.
separate?
No.
Okay, and then she says, I see the path it takes. Her holy symbol will glow as she is channeling divinity, so that path of the grave, the next attack, it has vulnerability to, so it will deal double damage. And now it is Declan's go.
Very nice.
Okay. So Declan is just gonna reflexively, when he gets there, kind of like stop in his tracks because he's never seen anything quite so terrifying, and just pull out a hand crossbow that he has hidden beneath his duster, and fire one off at the eyes. But first, he's gonna try to use insightful fighting.
Okay.
Don't you already have advantage because 2 of your friends are
Yeah.
drilling it?
Oh yeah, I guess so. You're in melee, so I guess I don't need to do that. But I don't have advantage.
Sure, but the sneak attack.
I get my sneak
The
attack.
Snurker Turk.
Which will deal double damage because
Ew.
of channel
Hmm.
divinities.
Yay. So that's an 18 to hit.
Hits.
Nice. Natural 2d6 damage. Ooh, that's a good roll. 11, 15, 18 doubles to 36 points of damage.
Describe how you kill it.
Little crossbow bolt nails him right between the eyes, and I imagine it just sort of like goes in one eye and out the back of the skull and just sort of like spins around, falls.
Yeah. And when it lands, it and just vanishes into powder.
Sweet.
So I imagine McCood had it like pinned up against the wall and was
Yeah.
like striking at it, and it was striking at him, and then this little bolt goes whoosh, kink, and like just sails in and destroys the creature.
To Abrashmina's eye, there is a thread that connected this creature to the plane that slices and cuts as the creature dies.
Awesome. That's awesome. You hear the sounds of raised voices and running footsteps outside.
I'm going to get the staff and go. Was our host all right?
Abrashmina shakes her head. Should we all run, or should we try to explain ourselves?
Well, the staff needs to be going, and I will go with the staff. I leave the rest to you. My suggestion is that you stay here and deal with the authorities as honestly as possible, and perhaps save this man's life. But your discretion. And Declan will go back, retrieve the staff, and try to beeline it out of here.
Yeah, Abrashmina will fly. No, Abrashmina will stay and wait for authorities. But she will like turn to Bryn and say, "Will you go see if Gurat is alive?" I do not think he is, but
Right, I'll walk up the stairs and see if he's still alive.
You see he is in his room, like sitting against the wall, but he doesn't have a head.
Jesus.
And there is a like fist-sized kind of wound in the wall, and a very large red and black and blue kind of brain face splatter on the wall. You think the demon creature punched him in the head so hard his head exploded.
Oh, God.
Looking at this, do I think anyone could think that McCood...
thank you. I was having that exact same thought.
Maybe. If they had a good lawyer.
Come down and invisible.
What? I have vanished. What is this?
Stay still. Be very, very quiet. Abrashmina is going to try to buy Bryn time and like to go out and meet the guards. Like still has like the wings out and the eyes glowing.
And so you kind of head outside and you see like a cadre of 6 guards like running up the sort of path, like spears and shields in hands, helmets on, and they'll like come to a stop and like stare up at you, eyes wide. Oh God!
The priest, there was a demon. And she'll, it came for him. It came for the staff. I don't know what was going on, but the priest, he's dead.
Good. You mean Gurat is dead?
There was a terrible creature. And like, quick, come, I'll show you, because the body of the creature is like there, right?
No.
No,
Oh,
it faded.
can't
No.
dust.
Ooh.
No.
I think
There's
while
like
Bryn
a
went
lot-
upstairs, like I'm like poking the dust. Like, where'd it go?
There's like
I
a big
wanted to
pile
mount
of
its neck.
dust.
Oh.
A big pile of dust, or like a big creature might have been here, or just like
You know, or like a bunch of spice that got knocked over.
I think you have a very short window before Mina comes back with the guards, and Makud is still around.
yeah, I'll cast invisibility on him, and as I'm doing so, I'll be like, you should probably try to make it back.
There is a back door to this property.
You should probably try to make it out the back door, and
Okay, which way did Declan leave?
The back door.
The back door. Okay.
All right.
as quietly as possible.
Stop.
The guards slam open the door. Stealth check with advantage, Makud.
Okay. I actually have quite good decks. Oh, that was a 19 on the first roll. That's 22 for stealth.
All right. You're able to slip outside like a demon's whisper and escape without anyone knowing you were there. And the guards
He would have said before Brent goes like, Makud doesn't run from a fight, but I guess we won, so I can leave.
and so the guards burst in and they see the carnage wrought before them, the huge pile of dust.
The shattered gem.
Yeah, I suppose fragments of the gem, though, you know, the gem was not enormous. It was like fist sized. So,
Yeah.
And a very guilty looking Brynhild standing there.
Not guilty.
Yeah, she's.
I mean, she's like
Very
she's got,
neutral
like,
looking Bryn standing
no.
there.
I want like I'm standing there like wide eyed, kind of like in shock at what I've just seen.
Okay. And they say, like, it comes in and says, what the hell's happened?
There was a creature.
Where is it? Is it still here?
No, it's dead.
Where's the body?
It was just
We heard terrible noises upstairs in the bedroom. There was crashing and screaming because Gurat went up there to get something to show us, another gift from his goddess. And we heard the crashing and screaming. And then this thing came down from up there and came down here. And like she like points to like the gem and the dust. And is like, thank the gods that I was here, because he who watches kept us safe.
And
As like, you know, the lights are fading.
The guy who's sort of de facto in charge, like, clicks his fingers and sends two guards to run up to the room. And he sort of puts an arm around Bryn and like pats her shoulder. Like, it's okay now. It's over.
I just came here for healing. I was so sick. God, I hope that poor man is all right.
The guards who were upstairs return a moment later, shaking their heads. He's dead. I've never seen anything like it.
I am sure that he who watches will make sure that he gets to the plain he deserves, she says, like thinking to herself, it probably is painful.
And the guards sort of nod, and they're a little bit stunned, like they don't really know what to do. They'd expected an easy shift, and they say, "Well, we'll have to deal with this internally. Can we? We'll need to take your names."
I just don't know what to do. He was so kind, and he healed me, and I'm sorry. You said something?
Tell me, what is your name?
Matilda, please just. I think I need to lie down.
Matilda. Would you like to come to the guardhouse? We can
I
make sure you're safe. And
I,
figure
I
out
have
what that is.
I have a room.
I think you should come with us to be safe.
I just want to go back to my. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
All right. Well, at least let my men walk you home.
Yes, I'm new to this place. Please, I just wish to be back safely.
He nods and sort of clicks, and two men sort of come and like take her and begin helping her outside. And he kind of turns back to Abrashmina, and he says, "We will need your name too, so we can contact you and question you."
Amar Vashti.
Amar Vashti, thank you. You are with the temple of He Who Watches?
Yes.
Very well. We will we'll come for you there in the morning.
I can meet you at the guardhouse if you like.
He sort of frowns, like slightly taken aback by that. I suppose if you wish.
You gentlemen do so much to keep our city safe. This is a small trouble.
Oh, all right then. Very well. He sort of nods and like, will you need an escort?
I am always escorted. And she like covers her holy symbol.
Very well. He stands aside to let you pass.
And I will leave.
All right. Bryn, where are you taking these guards?
So she's probably just kind of like stumbling over, like, and playing up the whole I'm, lost, and kind of trying to ramble back and remember the name of the inn that's where the foreigners go, and that's pretty much all they're getting right now is where and kind of like that vague kind of wandering direction.
Yeah, so they'll kind of pick up on that and start steering you towards the Shrieking Eel.
And then, once we get there, just kind of like, thank you for escorting me. I'll just go to my room now.
Oh, all right. You stay safe.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And they sort of turn and head off, like still kind of stunned themselves.
And I'll just go in and get a drink and, wait for the dust to settle before I make my way back over the Six Eyes.
So what's Makood and Declan doing?
I have no idea where Declan is, so...
I mean, can I get a perception check to notice Makood sort of clomping about?
I'm invisible.
Well, right, but
Well, it would be a listen, but yes,
Yeah.
I guess.
What was your stealth check?
Like 22?
Yeah, it was 19 plus 3.
I rolled a 20. I don't notice you.
Oh,
Good.
that's fine.
Oh,
He-
21 actually. But
He tip hoofs out very quietly.
To poof.
Tip
I'm going straight back to the bar, and I'm gonna like the door is just gonna open suddenly.
The 6
And-
eyes. I'm assuming.
6 eyes, yeah. The door is just gonna open suddenly, unless like there's a doorman in the way, and there's gonna be like stop, stop, stop. And people are gonna wonder, and then there's gonna be like a bar seat go, and he's gonna sit there and just go, victory to the bartender.
To your surprise, everyone sort of like looks up with mild interest and then just goes back to their drinks. And Uvir just kind of puts a drink like slightly to the right of where you're sat.
And so it just slides across a bit, and then like lifts up and and gets drunk by an invisible minotaur
so at some point you would become visible if you attempt. I think if you
within
use
an hour.
object. Oh, no, so if you use an object, you become
thought-
visible. So I think
No,
once
it's
you
just attack or cast a spell.
Oh, is that
That's
it, really?
If you
Uh-huh.
attack an enemy, yeah.
yeah, very cool.
So I don't know how long it takes me to get back, but for some there will be some.
Yeah,
invisible
I think it
drinkers.
takes you about half an hour to actually get to the 6 eyes.
Sure.
So we'll say yeah, half
An invisible
an hour in,
round.
you just suddenly appear.
Oh,
Imagine it's just like one hand slowly appears, it's just like pouring, and it just slowly expands out, like more and more of you becoming
mhm.
visible.
Just as he's drinking, like glug 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 glug, and it like fills up.
Barashmina is also heading back to the Six Eyes. Or the Butchers.
Yeah. So you arrive to find like a half corporeal Makud, like sitting, it's like a pair of legs and an arm,
Mm-hmm.
drinking. He's slowly coming back.
And she's going to come up next to him and slap him on the shoulder and be like, we did a good thing today.
Roll a disadvantage because
Yeah.
they're invisible. You may
Someone slaps you in the
miss.
face.
Yeah, someone slaps him in the face.
It's like you turn to look at her and she just like,
Oh, yeah, that's a 2.
okay,
Wait, if
Makud, someone slaps you across the
No,
snout.
hold on. If it's strength, that'll be a 0.
You just miss entirely and hit the bartender. Like,
Makud, someone slaps the drink out of your hand.
no.
No, I would
No,
say
No,
that.
she just sort of
Sure.
misses and like whiffs the air, I imagine.
Yeah. You return. I could not be seen, and like you see one of the arms that can be seen, and where you presume another arm is next to it, and he's like turning the hands backwards and forwards.
I can sort of see you now. Are you well? The thing injured you, yes?
That was nothing I haven't had before. It was like very, very minorly in mechanical
10
terms.
damage.
10 out of 52.
Yeah.
So like enough to kill a person, I guess. But not
Yeah, not to
Makud.
kill a peasant, but not Makud.
I mean, I think I've fought, some of the beasts of this land before. That was just much bigger than they usually get.
That was a awful thing. It did not belong here.
I did think it was odd when it burst into dust.
I believe he had it trapped in the gem. He had another one, and she's going to pull out the black gem from her pouch and kind of like get up on the bar stool next to Makud. It's like he was going to use this on me whenever he got angry, but Bryn and I stopped him.
Do I get bad juju from the...
Yeah, it definitely makes you uneasy.
I would like to spend a couple of minutes to detect magic on the
Okay.
gym.
As you're doing that, we'll quickly
Yeah.
move across to Mr. Declan.
Declan is gonna head. He probably is just at the butcher shop already. Probably
Okay,
just
yeah.
like on the roof or something.
It's just no, yeah, you probably arrive first then out of everyone.
So
and then
he'll see Abrashmina and he won't see Makub, but he'll see Abrashmina go in. And he'll just wait for them to come back out, and then he'll do the Batman entrance.
Okay. And you also see a few minutes later Brynhild approaching and enter the butcher shop as well.
I'll just hang out and wait.
Cool.
It's going to wait at least 10 minutes because I am detecting magic. He should just come inside and have a drink.
I don't like those people.
So you think after detecting magic that it's magical, and is of the conjuration variety. It's not identify, so it doesn't really tell you
No,
what.
that's pretty much all she can really get. It's like, yep, it's magical. Yep, it's conjuration.
Yep, it's gonna summon a demon.
Kai.
Do you want to fight another one?
No. And she's going to tuck it away. She's going to say, it was a sad man who seemed to gather items that granted him gifts he did not earn on his own.
Well, at least we got some of them. The ones we wanted. There might be more, but I imagine there are many people there now.
Yes. I'm not interested in robbing the man. We got his ill-gotten got the gift. Now we can return it.
Oh, Bryn. You lived. And you did not get stabbed. So I get paid?
Absolutely. What was the payment we agreed upon? Oh, that's right.
More alcohol.
More booze.
I believe it was one bottle of your favorite drink.
It's the cum follow. Although now it's red, laced with whatever it is that guy had.
Yeah, it's like, give me a little something extra.
Yeah. He's got a taste for sedatives.
Tell you what, for our first job, I think that went pretty well. I think that deserves a drink for everyone.
Not everyone. It seems as though Declan is not going to join us.
Eh. It's his choice, his loss. We're celebrating, right? I was miraculously healed by one of the city's greatest healers. It would be such a shame to see him go.
So, Declan,
Hmm.
you can actually. How long is it you have to? Is it a long rest you have to do with a magic item or a short rest to figure out what it does?
If he's
I
focusing-
think a short rest.
yeah,
Yeah.
an hour.
Okay.
An hour.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'll sit with it for a little while and
Yeah. Because I'll say, I mean, you guys are drinking. Like, you can be in there for an hour, even if you're only meant to be in there for 10 minutes. So yeah, you can be sat up there, and you think this staff essentially grants the bearer the ability to cast healing magic where they may not normally be able to.
Okay.
It's the staff of cure wounds, and 3 times a day you can cast cure wounds at 2nd level.
But it also removes diseases?
Yeah. It's also got like less restoration type
Got it.
stuff. But that was just more flavor, to be honest.
Got it.
But yeah, its main thing is cure wounds.
Okay.
But I suppose lesser restoration as well. Yeah. You can use the charge to cast either, we'll say.
I mean, I don't need it right now, so.
Yeah. So, at some point, are you all going to leave the Six Eyes?
Yeah, maybe. If we feel like it.
Unless anybody comes up to initiate conversation after a while, we'll be like, we should see where Declan is.
Right behind you.
Yeah.
I thought that meal was always going to be
Six Eyes.
my back.
The Six Eyes is still pretty empty. Maya and Dal are gone. Dune is still asleep on the desk, like with his head on the table. And Bree is just sort of like doing that bird thing where they like scrooge their neck down into their shoulders and snoozing. And they're the only people in there.
Yeah, then after a while, Abrashmina at least will leave. I don't know about Makud and Brin.
I think I'll go with you for now. There's a bit more time.
Yeah, Bryn will follow, but definitely kind of be like, we should make sure we're cautious when we're moving about.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know exactly who may be looking for us there. We used fake names, but fortunately we didn't use fake faces.
Ah, that bird, that puma that is looking for us. Is that what you landed on, Dan? For the
What
bird
puma?
person?
Zuvma, I think it was.
Zufma.
Suvma was at least what Makud would call it. Zuvma.
Abrashmina would use that word.
Okay. I mean, it's probably been adopted by a Shah from.
No, she's
Minotaur
using it
language.
because that's what you called him.
Okay.
Not because that's what the Ashar would call him, but because that is what Makud called him. And
There.
he's with us.
Maybe a Shah uses it because that's what the Minotaurs call them, and that's their sort of link to that. But
Yeah.
maybe. Either way, Zuvma.
I mean, there's that, and the fact that we were just, involved in a nasty bit of business with a priest that got his head punched off.
Yes, I am going to have to go and speak to the guards in the morning.
You did not promise that.
If I did not, they would go to the temple and look for me.
That gives us some time, I guess. We can either try to escape the city or, as they say, get our story straight. Fortunately for us, the truth is on our side.
Yes. I am sure that, if he had 2 of those nasty looking gems, he probably had much more. When they finish their investigation of the house, I am confident that they will find other things that will exonerate us. He was not a pleasant man. There would be evidence of such. Abrashmina says, not knowing about the cabinet full of rupees, but the guards definitely will find a cabinet full of rupees.
Were these city guards or temple officials?
City guards.
Did the guards?
Hopefully they-
Abrashmina says, assuming that was a question for the local.
That's the question for the local. Hopefully they won't try to cover something up. Of course, we have some connections now, though.
It did not involve an Ekroxani. I do not believe that we will be in any danger. Men like Gurat come and go. Newfound wealth they spend it lavishly, then are poor again, making room for another. He will not be missed once, like, the rumor of his, well, his gifts came from his god, so no one will be looking for the staff that healed people. If you catch my meaning.
Very true. And I certainly can sell a story, any story. All right, but I still think it would be wise to make sure everyone knows the story that we sold in there.
Abrashmina will nod. At which case, I'm sure at this point we are probably outside.
Yeah.
Oh, you're outside the bar?
Yeah.
Declan will drop down, super quiet. You've all arrived. Glad to see you all in one piece.
Yes.
Shall we make our way over to the temple to return the staff?
Abrashmina will nod. I am agreeable to this.
Very well. You oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, as we walk over, Declan will go over to Makud and he'll pull out a little vial of powder and say, "I found something for you that looked like you were enjoying. Feel free to spike anything you like with that, as long as it's your drink."
Oh God, really?
Oh my god.
He did say he took some.
Makud like sniffs it. Does he get the same, aroma?
Save a little bit for me. I'd like to be able to synthesize it, so perhaps we could make some more.
You take what you want, and I will have the rest.
Very good, friend.
Makud's gonna fucking snort it. So yeah, you arrive at the temple and climb your way to the top.
I'll give the staff to Abrashmina.
We go to the top.
Yeah. There is that same foul wind and the ghostly veiled form of the Bell Witch appears before you again. And she sort of stares at you and she says, "You have the staff."
As we promised.
Lay it over the altar.
The spirit doesn't give Abrashmini any bad vibes other than like, oh no, it's so sad.
Nope. It doesn't give you any more bad vibes than it didn't give you last time.
Okay. I couldn't remember if I asked, which probably
You
should
did.
have been like a thing. Okay. Cool. So yeah, Abrashmina will take the staff and lay it across the altar.
She sort of bends and like runs a hand along it. It is good to see it returned. And I promised you reward. You may choose your reward. If you wish, I can grant you an answer to a question. Or you may bear this staff in the name of Vale.
The
I
name
think an
of
answer
Vale.
to a question would be more preferable.
I don't know.
Could we... Sorry, go ahead.
So it depends on the staff, how powerful the staff is.
If I understand it correctly, it allows us to cast low-level healing spells, which both of you are able to do already. More could be useful, but...
The staff is as powerful as the wielder and will grow as you grow.
Well, that is something. Could we have a moment to confer about what question we might ask you?
The witch inclines its head, giving you the impression that that's agreeable.
Anyone have any pressing questions? We know the general location now of the preacher. We could ask for more specific information. We could also ask the location of any one of our lost loved ones. Though her messages or her answers have been cryptic in the past.
She is a spirit, and spirits do not all often speak. The line that they see do not always go straight. It's cryptic, but it's like rain. The drops come from all places. She says, knowing that doesn't make any much more sense than anything the ghost would say. But if any of you have questions, I will cede.
Well, we only get the one. We could ask, where is the place of, what was it? Snakes and venom?
Mm.
It was
Statues,
venom, and water.
Statues,
No,
we can
life.
ask.
You said, actually.
Oh,
Abrashmina supposed that it was Oasis.
it says water in my notes, but I might have changed it on the fly.
Yeah.
I mean, we may get a name, but that doesn't mean we know any more than that.
Well, the name can be researched.
Did the Six Eyes not already have some information?
They
Did
offered, but I do believe that Declan turned them down. And Brian seems to be looking for someone, and yet she asks no questions out loud. She
I don't
says,
find
kind of side-eyeing Bryn, but now that you can tell that she's side-eyeing because people's...
I am looking for someone. That is true. I have some information. I haven't had the opportunity to speak with the members of the Six Eyes about if they would have any other information. It feels selfish to seek this boon only for myself, only to benefit myself.
I would not view it this way. No matter whom of us would ask such a question, it would benefit us all. We have all pledged to help each other to our ultimate goal. Whatever step we take along that path only advances us all.
Makud, is there anything you seek?
I did speak once that there are also people I want to find, but I'm sure we could find them at some point. And the fancy stick would make it a lot easier.
I seek a path, but I will find that no matter who I ask questions, I do not need a spirit to tell me which way to go. I go the way I go. So, Declan, Rin, it seems it is for you.
I always believe information is the most powerful weapon. But sometimes power is power. I have already asked a question and received an answer. So I suppose I would leave the decision to Bryn. If there is something you would ask it. If not, Abrashmina will take the staff.
Information is indeed a powerful weapon if used correctly. However, it does us little good if we do not have the tools to make the most use of it.
The staff, then.
The staff.
All right.
That is your decision.
Abrashmino will kind of. I thought she was over on the other side of the room.
I mean,
But-
this room isn't big enough for you to walk away.
Okay, okay.
It's like 6 feet wide in a
She's just
circle.
politely looking away from us.
Yeah.
while we're just there.
Well, she's just staring at you all through the veil, like doing that boreal dancer thing where she bobs her head to the side.
Nice.
Get that reference.
I get that. Me too.
Well
When
done, Bart.
Abrashmina has like the staff in her hands, like Makuda's just going to ask out loud, not necessarily to the ghost, but who is Vale? Because she said you will hold that staff, for Vale,
In the name of Vale,
or in
yes.
the name of Vale.
Abe, you can make a history or religion check. It's gonna be hard though.
Also, is it Vale spelt like Vale, or is it
Yes.
Vale spelt like Vale?
It is veil spelt like a veil,
Okay.
and you can't
I
find the
can't
answer
find
apparently.
the answer. It's probably apt because I think I keep rolling balls on this every single time. 11. So
Yeah, no way. Siri
I think we
sometimes
tried.
says, "Did you summon me?" which really creeps me out, but not that time. Yes. So you have no idea, and the witch leans down to kind of get on all of your level, and she says, "Return to this place with rose-colored quartz, and you'll be granted another reward." And then she fades from existence.
Rose-colored quartz.
Sounds simple enough.
Now, Parashmina now has a staff.
Staff, 3 charges. You can use them to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level or Lesser Restoration. And
They will
possible more
grow
things.
with me.
Yes.
Excellent.
And I think that's where we'll end it today.
Yay!